A family using an HSA can shelter up to $8,750 pre-tax in 2026, according to the IRS, while a health FSA caps out at just $3,400 and can force you to forfeit whatever you do not spend. That gap is not a rounding error. It is the difference between money that stays yours forever and money that can vanish at year-end. Stick with me, because by the end, you will know exactly which account won't punish you later. I read the fine print so you don't have to. Here is why this matters. Pick the wrong account, and you leak money twice. Once from a lower pre-tax cap, and again from forfeiture. The IRS sets the 2026 family HSA limit at $8,150 versus a $3,400 FSA cap. And the FSA's use it or lose it rule means unspent dollars can simply disappear at plan year end unless your employer offers a limited carryover. That is potentially hundreds of dollars gone for underestimating your own doctor visits. At a glance, the HSA and FSA look similar. Both let you pay for medical costs with pre-tax dollars. But the structure is completely different. The HSA rolls over year to year, is owned by you, and lets a family put away up to $8,950 in 2026 per the IRS. The FSA caps at $3,400 is tied to your employer and can strand any money you don't spend. The HSA suits anyone enrolled in a qualifying high-deductible health plan who wants their medical money to actually build up. The IRS sets 2026 limits at $4,400 for self-only coverage and $8,150 for family coverage. The catch on eligibility is real. You cannot open an HSA unless you are in that high-deductible plan, so it is not available to everyone. But if you qualify, the account rewards you for saving instead of punishing you for guessing wrong. The HSA's biggest edge is that the money never expires. Fidelity notes that HSA balances roll over year to year and stay with you even if you change jobs, and they can be invested for long-term growth. That means a bad spending estimate costs you zero in rollover loss. Every unspent dollar simply waits for you. Over 20 years, consistently funding the account and earning investment growth can turn it into a serious retirement asset. The HSA is not flawless. If you pull money out for non-medical spending before age 65, Fidelity notes you face a 20% penalty on top of income tax. So it is not a general savings account you can raid freely. It also demands you be in a high-deductible health plan, which means higher upfront costs before insurance kicks in. The upside, at age 65, that 20% penalty is waived, though income tax still applies to non-medical withdrawals. The FSA is built for people with predictable, near-term medical spending who don't have access to a high-deductible plan and therefore can't open an HSA. The IRS caps the 2026 Health FSA at $3,400. One genuine perk is that your full annual election is available on day one of the plan year, so you can spend the whole amount before you have actually contributed it. But the account is tied to your employer, which becomes a problem the moment you change jobs. The FSA's real strength is timing. As the Motley Fool explains, your entire annual election is available from day one. So if you know you have a big planned expense, braces, surgery, glasses, you can access the full amount before you've paid it all in through payroll. That front-loading can genuinely help with a large, predictable bill. The trade-off is the lower $3,400 ceiling and the risk that comes next. Here is the FSA's punishment clause. Under the IRS use it or lose it rule, unspent balances can be forfeited at year-end. The IRS lets plans offer either a carryover of up to $680 in 2026 or a 2.5-month grace period, but not both. And some plans offer neither. On top of that, the FSA is not portable, so leaving your job can accelerate the loss of any unused money because the account is employer-tied. Let's run them head-to-head. On the 2026 cap, the HSA wins it up to $8,950 for a family versus the FSA's $3,400 per the IRS. On rollover, the HSA's indefinite carry beats the FSA's $680 maximum. On portability, the HSA moves with you while the FSA stays with your employer. The one round the FSA takes is upfront access. You get your full election on day one, which the HSA can't match. Rounding out the comparison, the HSA can be invested for long-term growth, while the FSA cannot, according to Fidelity. On retirement use, the HSA becomes retirement-like at 65 when the 20% penalty is waived, while the FSA has no equivalent long-term feature because it is designed for near-term spending. The FSA claws back 1 point on eligibility. It is broadly available even without a high-deductible plan, which the HSA requires. Tally it up, and the HSA takes 5 of the 7 rounds: higher cap, indefinite rollover, portability, investment growth, and retirement flexibility. The FSA wins 2: upfront access to your full election and broader eligibility for people without a high-deductible plan. On paper, this is a clear win, but the scorecard only matters if you can actually qualify, which is the number I'll get to next. For most people, the deciding number is $1,000. Our example saver Mike, single coverage, can put $4,400 into an HSA in 2026 versus the FSA's $3,400 cap per the IRS. That is $1,000 more sheltered pre-tax every single year, with zero rollover loss on anything he doesn't spend. Multiply that across 20 years with investment growth inside the HSA, and the gap compounds into a genuinely large lifetime advantage. So who actually wins? For someone like Mike, eligible for a high-deductible plan with modest predictable spending and decades before retirement, the HSA is the better fit because the extra $1,000 of room and indefinite rollover compound in his favor. But this is general information, not personal advice. So check your plan documents and your own circumstances before deciding. If you don't have a qualifying high-deductible health plan, you simply can't open an HSA, and the FSA becomes the sensible fallback for near-term medical costs. And if you have a large known expense coming this year, the FSA's front-loaded full election can genuinely beat an HSA you haven't funded yet. Before I get to the decision guide, which is the most practical piece of this, remember the rule. Match the account to your plan eligibility first, then your spending pattern. Here is the clean rule. Choose the HSA if you are in a qualifying high-deductible plan and want your money to roll over, invest, and follow you between jobs, especially if your spending is unpredictable. Choose the FSA if you can't open an HSA, or if you have a large predictable expense this year and want the full election available up front. And before you lock anything in, check your benefits portal for the words carryover, grace period, or runout, and compare last year's receipts against your election. If this is useful, subscribe. The next breakdown is already coming. Before your next open enrollment, pull up your plan and confirm whether your FSA offers the $680 carryover or a grace period, and check your HSA eligibility against the 2026 ERS limits. Next, I'm covering how to actually invest your HSA balance so it grows into a retirement account. If you want to catch that, subscribe so you don't miss it.